Welcome to PA Timber Gears. Another lovely Sunday morning. Back in Marietta today. Currently I am in front of Musselman's Vesta Iron Furnace Center. It's pretty quiet here today. Much cooler today. I'm going to take a second look around. It's about 7 a.m. so there's not a lot of people here. Musselman Vesta Iron Furnace, office built 1868. Many things to look at here. There's a lot of remnants of the iron furnace here. Here's some more bricks. Lots of old bricks. Have some writing on there. Woodland #2, or something. Can't read what a lot of these say. There's not much lettering left. Lots of old chunks of slag from the furnace. That looks like a hitch pin from the railroad, which is down near the river. Very beautiful in here. That looks like a train trestle there. What's left of it. There's some old equipment here. Very old steam engine. Usually there was a large belt on here that drove some of their machinery. It was steam powered. Let's see what the placard says here. Hopefully we can see this. Stop number 7, Frick Stationary Steam Engine, 1853. George Frick established a company in Waynesboro, PA to build steam engines. The steam engine won the gold medal Philadelphia World's Fair for the best in class again. In 1880, Frick Eclipse engine triumphed over 25 other competitors. At the Great Expedition at Melbourne, Australia, the steam engine is used to shuttle a piston back and forth, which was connected to a drive wheel and belts to drive equipment. Such equipment as the skip hoist used to transport raw materials to the top of the furnace, the blower engines which used to provide blast air through the stoves to the base of the furnace, and the water pumps to provide a flow of cool water outside the furnace and supply water to the boilers to make steam. Let's take a walk around in here. Lots of things to read in here. Stop number 2, concrete railroad piers. With the arrival of Pennsylvania Railroad, raw materials were delivered to the furnace by rail. Concrete piers were used to elevate the rail so the ore and coal could be dumped between the piers, from there to be transported to the stock shed. The raw materials are moved by shovel and buggies. The timber served as funnels to channel the raw material into piles, making it easier for the bottom filters to remove the material. Two of Pennsylvania's largest iron ore mines are in Cornwall, and we're going to take a look at Cornwall Furnace here eventually. I'm going to make that another video. Most of the iron pits at Cornwall are full of water. It would make some really cool lakes to fish on. Here's one of the storage sheds. I wonder how old these bricks are. Probably from the 1800s. Got all kinds of different bricks in there, different colors, different material. Cool stuff. Here's some jade or something melted. That must have came out of the furnace. Got some slag on it. That's got very interesting looking. Let's see what's over here. Let's see what's around the other side here. So many things hidden in the woods up here. The woods grew over top of everything. Wonder what this was. Lots of old bricks in there. Red bricks are a little bit newer. They're not as old as the ones in the building there. You can see the holes in the concrete piers here. There were large beams inside of there, and it kept the material in a neater pile, which made it easier to transport back and forth. This one looks pretty interesting. This one must have had iron bars in it. New beams there. I wonder if coal was falling through this port here, and that was used to take the big chunks out and help break it up. Well, the other holes in the concrete look different. They're all rectangular. So you can tell that one must have had iron bars in it. All right, let's walk around here, see what else we can find. It's amazing how all this grew over. There's a lot of pictures online, but unfortunately I can't add them to my website because they're trademarked pictures. I believe one of the chimney stacks was over here. Stone base with a chimney, 140 feet in the air. There's the furnace there. There's the furnace there. There's a better picture of the furnace there. 160-foot stack. It must have smelled terrible when the furnace was running. All the fumes coming out of the stack from the coal and the other things they were melting. And all the toxic gases coming out of the furnace. It must have smelled terrible when the furnace was burning. Here's another round base. You can still see some of the bricks on the bottom here. This must have also been another stack. If you ever drive past the coal burning plant, it has a very pungent aroma of sulfur. So you can only imagine what this smelled like when the furnace was running. Pennsylvania Canal, 1830 to 1833. Canal was used to transport coal. Mules and horses pulled the canal boats. Anthracite coal from northwest Pennsylvania was conveyed to the iron furnaces through the canal network, which also supported the local lumber mills, planing mills, and taverns. A concrete pump house was used to supply Musselman's furnace with water that was needed to cool the stoves at the furnace and supply water to the steam engines that supplied the power for the skip hoist and the blower engines. The pump house was located on the Riverside Canal bed and is still visible today. There's a picture of the canal there with their coal loaded into it. Let's take a walk down the road here and we'll check out the historic district, so we'll be right back. It's a beautiful area to walk. Here's a very old building. A lot of these old buildings are converted into apartments. I bet the walls could talk in here. They would have a lot of stories. You wonder how many of them worked in the furnace up the road. Lots of old train buildings in here too. That looks like a very old building there too. That could have been some storage for an old equipment building. This is considered the historic district area. I'm kind of walking along here. There's some very old brick buildings here also. Everything in here has been restored, meticulously painted. You even have a brick sidewalk here. A lot of early morning joggers. Very beautiful in here. Lots of brick here. I love to see the old sidewalks. It even has a cool smell from all the plants. There's some ivy growing up the side. There's some cool ironwork on the window there. This section looks new. Very beautiful. It's very relaxing walking through here. There's some old hinges there. Wonder how old these hinges are. Some old iron latches. These old hinges and latches might have came from the iron furnace. They look like they were hammered by a blacksmith. This would be a cool place to live in the historic district. Here's another brick building, painted, all restored. Here's a cool porch. Porch is even brick. Beautiful. I hear a fish pond tinkling in the background, or a water fountain. My parents had a fish pond growing up. They always had frogs in there. A lot of times they became very noisy in the evening, and my dad used to get mad because they couldn't hear the TV because the frogs were out there croaking. Something that you don't hear very much anymore. A sound that you don't hear very much anymore. A lot of our frogs have vanished. You could always hear spring peepers in the distance, and as summer went on, they got bigger, and you would just hear them croaking. Another old brick building. Here's some more brick sidewalk up here. Another old brick house. Lots of early morning joggers. I did that back in my younger days when I had a lot of energy. There's a herd of deer, a turkey, and some black bears. Probably the only one you'll see in Lancaster County. This section here looks a little rougher. Looks like it needs some TLC. Got some river rock on the edge here, keeping the brick in. I'm at the end of the historic district. Here's some of the train buildings. The train tracks are fairly close. Some of them need some TLC. This one's pretty cool. I actually like this one the best. It's got a nice window on top. .280 West Front Street, railroadhouse.com. There's a restaurant in here with some apartments on the back. Hopefully the sun's not in my lens. I'm going to walk the opposite side. Going back is coming down. Very beautiful buildings. Many old buildings in here. Brick sidewalks are awesome. You always kind of get an odd look when you're talking to yourself in the camera. Lots of squirrels, lots of joggers. Starting to get very warm again. Hopefully my camera won't act up this time. Here's remnants of the past. Here's the old train tracks there. Going right through somebody's backyard. That's pretty cool. Many people can say that you actually have actual railroad tracks going through your property. Awesome place for a walk in the morning. There are 3 restaurants along this 1 mile stretch: a brewery, an ice cream house, and a steakhouse. Last time we drove through here, it was on a Saturday morning and all the restaurants were packed. So if you're looking for an if you're looking for a place out of the way that's fairly quiet, Marietta Historic District. Bike trail. The river trail is right on the other side of the tracks here. There are some right-of-ways over top of the railroad tracks. You can walk down through the woods along the trail. Everything is blacktop. No gravel here. I'm going to walk across the tracks here, follow the bike trail, and then we'll come out at Musselman's iron furnace. There's a squirrel with a big nut. He's running away with his nut. There he goes. Squirrels are funny. He's taking his walnut and running away. Where'd he go? He's running across the tracks. He's sneaking away. Gotcha. Gotcha, Mr. Squirrel. Lots of wildlife in this short section. Take a view down the tracks here. Very long train went by this morning. I had to wait for about 20 or 30 minutes to completely pass by and stop blowing the air horn. You can smell the river. It's very close by. Here's the bike trail. South K Street, lots of signage. First National Co-working Office Space, American Legion, Ascop House B&B, Bruins Deli, Express Laundry, Lancaster Recumbent, Marietta Center for the Arts, Marietta Marketplace, McLean's Pub, McLean's Irish Pub and Restaurant, Molly's Country Yard Cafe, Mulberry Thrill Cafe, My Digital Conversation, Railroad House and Perry's Cellar, River Breeze Grooming, River Trail Brewing, Shanks Tavern, Rarful Nest Boutique, Glazing Sun, Traditional Treasures, Vital Tree Yoga. Take one of these maps out of here. Historic Rivertown, Marietta, PA. More reading material. I'm always looking for new places to explore and check out. I never have enough reading material, ever. Keeps my mind sharp. Let's go out and take a look at the river. It's a lot cooler in here under the trees. It rained a little bit yesterday, so it's going to be very humid once that sun comes up and starts drying the moisture out. Here's a dead fish. Wonder what kind of fish that is. You can see what's left of the fins. That could be a carp or something there. Definitely very beautiful here. Very beautiful. Sun's coming up. Be an awesome place for a kayak trip. What would you rather paddle over a longer distance, a kayak or a canoe? If you were going to paddle the entire Susquehanna, which is a river trail, which would you take, a kayak or a canoe? A canoe you can put more in, and it has a shallower draft, but the kayak is more nimble. Let me sit here for a few minutes and take in some scenery. Definitely a cool spot. I wonder what kind of interesting finds I could find out here if I followed the riverbank for a few miles either way. Here's an old pier. Must have been a dock or something here. Still got some bolts on there. Here's part of a wall. Maybe there was a trade building here at some point in time. There's some little cement steps. Lots of remnants of the past. Here's a beautiful island up there. That would make a cool spot for a stealth camp. I hear a few eagles in the background. They make a very shrill sound. I can't figure out where they're at. They could be flying above the Susquehanna. I can't see them underneath the canopy. That's probably the coolest house in the river up there, overlooking the top. Sun's peeking over the mountain. We'll have to visit this spot a few more times. It's very beautiful. Now I believe we're going to go back up across the railroad tracks. Back out on the road. Back up on the tracks. Back out on the road. Question of the day: are you an e-bike guy, or are you an old school bike guy? Which are you? You can leave me a comment down in the comment section. I see a lot of e-bikes. They seem to be the younger generation. Most of the normal bikes, the older school guys like myself ride a normal bike. Morning. Is it about the exercise and staying healthy? Or is it about the cruise on the electric bike with the least amount of effort? That's a $1 million question for this video. I've heard both sides of the argument. We can ride further and then hit the electric on the way back. Yeah, your legs are sore because you rode so far and you use the electric power to come back. But the purpose of riding a bike is to strengthen your core muscles in your back and your legs and build up your cardio. So I would always lean towards the manual power bike. I'm not sure if I will ever go to an electric bike. It's just not my thing. I would rather build up my core strength and earn those miles instead of hitting the throttle and just rolling back. Here's my thought for the day. That's the end of our walk for today. Hopefully you enjoyed our walk down through the Marietta Historic District. We came back down the bike trail, which will be the riverfront trail. As always, give this video a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button. Help my channel grow. If you're new to PA Timber Gifts, welcome to the family. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.